At Grossman Imaging Center, we have an emergency plan that is reviewed annually with all employees. At the end of this presentation, you'll find a quiz that you need to take and return to your manager, please. Every office has a specific emergency operation plan that designates an incident commander and tells you where you would need to evacuate to. The first part of our presentation will concentrate on fire safety. 3 elements must be present at the same time to have a fire. They are fuel, oxygen, and heat.
There are 4 classes of fire. A Class A fire involves ordinary combustibles or fibrous materials such as wood, paper, cloth, rubber, and some plastics. Class B fires involve flammable or combustible liquids such as gasoline, kerosene, paint, paint thinners, and propane. Class C fires involve energized electrical equipment such as appliances, switches, panel boxes, and power tools. It's very unlikely we will see a Class D fire, but if we did, it would involve certain combustible metals such as magnesium, titanium, potassium, and sodium. It's important to be prepared for a fire emergency. Check the location of fire alarms and know how they work. Learn your building's evacuation plan. Know where your 2 nearest exits are located. Make sure nothing blocks fire poles, extinguishers, or those emergency exits. Learn the sound of your building fire alarm. Post emergency numbers, including security and first aid, near your telephone, and make sure you know what to do if the fire alarm sounds. Plan your escape.
When you notice a fire, pull the nearest fire alarm while exiting the floor. If there's no pull station, you're going to dial 911. Please do not assume that anyone else has already called the fire department. Stay calm and be prepared to answer the operator's questions regarding the emergency. Evacuate. When you hear the fire alarm, remove your patients from the scanners and the exam rooms. Leave at once. Do not delay yourself by gathering personal items. Your safety always comes first. Remember, before you open any door, feel the door with the back of your hand. If the door is cold, slowly open it a crack. If the door is hot, do not open that door. If there's no smoke in the hallways, follow your building's evacuation plan. Get out quickly using the designated fire exits.
In the event of a fire, your personal safety is your utmost concern. Remember, you are not required to fight a fire.
But if you consider fighting the fire, make sure you first call the fire department, confirm that the fire is small and is not spreading, confirm that you have a safe path to exit and you're not threatened by the fire, know what kind of extinguisher is required, and the correct extinguisher is immediately at hand.
Many extinguishers available today can be used on different types of fires and will be labeled with more than one designator, as AB, BC, or ABC. The fire extinguishers in our offices are all rated ABC. This label shows that this extinguisher can be used on ordinary combustibles, A, or flammable liquids, B. The red slash through the last symbol tells you that the extinguisher cannot be used on electrical fires, C. Be advised that most fire extinguishers will function for less than 40 seconds.
Something important to point out in an imaging center, most fire extinguishers are not MRI safe. That means you cannot take it into the MRI room. MRI safe fire extinguishers are labeled specifically for MRI, and they're usually white and not red. You'll find them by every MRI door. When in doubt, do not take the fire extinguisher into the MRI room. If you fight a fire, remember the word pass. Pull, aim, squeeze, sweep. Pull the pin. Some extinguishers require releasing a lock latch, pressing a puncture lever, or other motion. Aim. Aim low, pointing the extinguisher nozzle at the base of the fire.
Squeeze the handle. This releases the extinguishing agent. Sweep from side to side at the base of the fire until it appears to be out. Watch the fire area in case fire breaks out again and repeat use of extinguisher if necessary. Read and follow the directions on your extinguisher. If you have the slightest doubt about whether or not to fight a fire, don't. Get out and close the door behind you.
Remember, your safety comes first. When in doubt, leave the firefighting to the professionals. The next thing we're going to talk about are earthquakes. Please remember to remove your patient from the table, then drop, cover, and hold on.
We're still recommending that people drop, cover, and hold on. So if people feel an earthquake shaking, they should drop down to the ground and then try and take cover underneath a sturdy table or desk and then hold onto it, because that cover might actually be moving with the earthquake. There's a few problems with running outdoors. First of all, the building might be shaking so much that it might cause you to fall over, and that actually causes quite a few injuries. Also, running outside, pieces of the building might be falling down outside, and that's going to cause you injury as well. So it's actually pretty hard to walk or run during a heavy earthquake, so we recommend that people stay where they are. If you're outside, again, you'll drop down to the ground. You also want to cover your neck and your head with your arms. That's just to protect anything, protect your body from falling objects that might be coming from the nearby area. Having things like a mini flashlight, having some basic food supplies is always going to help. We also recommend that people have a plan on what to do if they're separated from their families. So that's how would they contact household members or people that they're traveling with if they did lose contact during an emergency or a disaster. There'll be situations maybe somebody's in bed, and in that situation we'd encourage a person to curl up as small as they could and then put a pillow over their head, and that's basically to protect their head. Sometimes a person will be in a room and there's no table or desk or anything else to get under. In that situation, we recommend the person to get next to an interior wall, and again to drop, cover, and basically protect their head and neck with their arms, again to protect themselves from falling objects.
In today's unpredictable climate, it's important to talk about things that are uncomfortable and scary. Places that used to be safe can quickly become unsafe. The following video is fairly graphic, but we feel it's important that you see it. In the case of an active shooter, you need to run, hide, and fight.
It may feel like just another day at the office, but occasionally, life feels more like an action movie than reality. The authorities are working hard to protect you and to protect our public spaces. But sometimes bad people do bad things. Their motivations are different. The warning signs may vary, but the devastating effects are the same. And unfortunately, you need to be prepared for the worst. If you were ever to find yourself in the middle of an active shooter event, your survival may depend on whether or not you have a plan. The plan doesn't have to be complicated. There are 3 things you could do that make a difference. Run, hide, fight. First and foremost, if you can get out, do. Always try and escape or evacuate, even when others insist on staying. Encourage others to leave with you, but don't let them slow you down with indecision. Remember what's important, you, not your stuff. Leave your belongings behind and try to find a way to get out safely. Trying to get yourself out of harm's way needs to be your #1 priority. Once you are out of the line of fire, try to prevent others from walking into the danger zone and call 911. If you can't get out safely, you need to find a place to hide. Act quickly and quietly. Try to secure your hiding place the best you can. Turn out lights, and if possible, remember to lock doors. Silence your ringer and vibration mode on your cell phone. And if you can't find a safe room or closet, try to conceal yourself behind large objects that may protect you. Do your best to remain quiet and calm. As a last resort, if your life is at risk, whether you are alone or working together as a group, fight. Act with aggression. Improvise weapons. Disarm him. And commit to taking the shooter down, no matter what. Try to be aware of your environment. Always have an exit plan. Know that in an incident like this, victims are generally chosen randomly. The event is unpredictable and may evolve quickly. The first responders on the scene are not there to evacuate or tend to the injured. They are well trained and are there to stop the shooter. Your actions can make a difference for your safety and survival. Be aware and be prepared. And if you find yourself facing an active shooter, there are 3 key things you need to remember to survive. Run, hide, fight.
Grossman Imaging Center utilizes a code and whistle system. Every patient room has a whistle on the wall to indicate the need for immediate help. If you hear the whistle, please get to that room immediately. In the event of a fire, a code red page will be called overhead, including the site and the room. For example, code red solar CT. Code silver is called when there is a hostile confrontation occurring and you no longer feel safe. This will also indicate the site and the room. For example, code silver X-site MRI. In the case of an active shooter, no code will be called. You must run, hide, or fight.
This concludes our annual safety presentation. Please remember to take the emergency safety quiz and turn it into your manager. Thank you.